Whew. Workout done. That was a nice little workout tonight. Ooh. Some pouring sweat. The focus of tonight was shoulders, obviously, but recently I've just messed around with my training a little bit. A few niggles were catching up on me, a few aches and pains. Obviously I had the chest injury a few weeks ago. My knees were feeling a little bit sore, lower back feeling a little bit sore, joints. It's part of being 46, getting old and all of that. So what I've decided to do recently is just mix up the training a little bit and back off from the astronomically heavy weights. The idea at the moment is I'm trying to do a little bit more in the way of, I won't say bodybuilding, but like muscle hypertrophy, breaking muscle tissue down a little bit more, catching negatives, drop sets, things like that. I find it's quite a good way of just getting some good work in, because it's very taxing, but saving the joints. So tonight I started out with military press, and I worked up to something pretty decent with the chains at full lockouts. I think that's 176. Yeah, 2 5-kilo chains aside and an 8-kilo chain aside, and 140 kilos on the bar. Yes, I think it's just under 180 kilos. So I mean, it was pretty good. Nice full range of motion. Tried to catch the negative, and I got a couple of reps with it, and then took off a chain. Got a couple more reps, and I took off another chain, and I think I got another 3 reps. And actually did 2 sets of that, 2 work sets of that, which was nice. Good work there. I've then moved on to, it's an old exercise that I remember, well I say old, depends how old you are, but I remember seeing Victor Martinez. Now Victor Martinez was a really good bodybuilder, one of my favourite bodybuilders from the very late 90s, early 2000s. He was competing up until the sort of early 2010s from what I recall. But he was around, those of you who know Dexter Jackson, who's a one-time Mr. Olympia, he was kind of like a slightly bigger version of Dexter Jackson. He looked really, really good. And there was one Mr. Olympia where he got robbed, absolutely robbed by Jay Cutler. Now I like Jay, but there was one Olympia where Jay didn't deserve to win, Victor should have won. Anyway, I digress. So Victor used to do very heavy side raises, but just partial range of motion. So you have your arms almost straight, and you'll just get something that you can't do in good form, but you can get it as high as you can with your arms straight, and you'll do 10-ish reps of that, and then you'll get a moderate weight and do a nice full range of motion. So my weights of choice tonight, I did 40 kilogram dumbbells for the heavy partials, and then I went to the 17.5 kilogram dumbbells for the actual sort of full range side raises. And it's really effective. I did 3 rounds of that. So I think I filmed 2 of the 3 rounds, but I did 3 rounds, I assure you. But the pump that you get almost instantaneously from it is really, really good. And I was doing my best to control the negative. To be honest with you, it wasn't happening just because my side delts were tired. And when I watch it back on video, I'm sure I was probably like that. But in my head, I was trying to slow it down. I then moved on to some incline front raises. Now again, front raises are an exercise that has kind of lost popularity over the last few years. And it's always something I've dipped in and out of, because there is an argument, and quite rightly, that our front deltoids, like the front of the shoulder, gets more than enough work with all the pressing we do. So if you're someone that's like quite a heavy compound person, you'll do shoulder press, you'll do incline press, you'll do flat bench, you might do dips, you might do close grip bench. So your front deltoids do get a tremendous amount of work. And I completely agree. And so on and off over the years, I've kind of been hit and miss with them. But I actually saw an interview with Phil Heath. Again, Phil Heath is 7 times to Olympia, with some of the best deltoids ever. And I remember him giving an analogy, effectively saying, you wouldn't not train your triceps just because you bench press. And I was like, you know what? That completely makes sense. So what I've started doing more recently, since being inspired by Phil Heath, I've started throwing them in every other workout. So I still have some slight reservations, but I do them every other workout. I hit shoulders pretty much twice a week. So they are getting hit once a week anyway, with additional work on top of all the pressing that I do. I then went on to some incline bench rear delts. So the angle I filmed that, you couldn't actually see my bar path. So or dumbbell path, excuse me. I actually go forward at an angle. Now there are a number of ways of doing them. So imagine me on the incline. There are 3 ways I tend to do them. I either go up diagonally, I go out to the side, or I keep them quite close to my body and I do them almost like a kickback, but with my arm pretty much locked. So I find all 3 of them are quite effective. So I just mix it up. I fancy doing them more to the front today. But all 3 of them work. So if you are going to give this workout a try, have a go at those. And again, I think I did 3 sets of 15 reps there. Nothing significant in terms of weight. I was using, I think, the 10 kilo or 12 kilo dumbbells. One or the other, I can't remember. And then I finished off with some seated dumbbell shrugs. And I just went straight to my 60 kilo dumbbells. Now, doing them seated, I've got very, very, very strong traps. My traps are ridiculously strong. You've probably seen on one of my previous shoulder videos from a few weeks ago, I did like a 380 kilo shrug, like a 9-plate shrug for reps, and in pretty decent form. So my traps are really, really strong. But what I find is, ordinarily dumbbells, I've just never come across a pair of dumbbells that I can't do in pretty good form for a lot of reps. But I do find sitting down doing them does make it a little bit more difficult. So if you're someone with very dominant traps, who you might use all the helper muscles, your lower back or whatever, maybe try sitting down to do them. And I'd already done quite a lot of work by this point anyway, so my traps were a little bit tired anyway. So I just finished off with 3 sets of 15 reps, just with my 60 kilo dumbbells. And I just did 3 straight sets, 15 reps. Quite a slow controlled negative, little pause, back up in an explosive manner, slow and controlled on the way down. Now, I've been doing this sort of negative orientated training now. I think this is about 3 weeks now I've been messing around with it. And it is a while since I've had so much consistent DOMS, like delayed onset muscular soreness. Those of you who are new to the gym or whatever, when I say DOMS, I mean, the muscle aches you get the next day. Now, when you're an old man like me who's been training for 30 odd years, DOMS does come, but you have to hit something really hard. And even though I use very, very heavy weights, I don't always get a tremendous amount of DOMS. I can feel a bit of tightness. I can feel definitely like I've had a workout. My joints and lower back and everything always feel it. But in terms of the actual muscle itself, I don't necessarily get that deep, deep pain that we all thrive for as lifters. Now, over the last 3 weeks, doing these slightly more slow controlled negatives, even though I've been using considerably less weights, I have consistently, every single workout that I've done it, come home or woken up the next day sore, which, again, if you're a lifter, you're a masochist at heart. You look for the pain, you look for the ache the next day. If you don't feel some kind of tightness or ache, you feel like you've had a rubbish workout. And I can genuinely say, as often as I train and as long as I train, this is the most consistent DOMS I've had in a very, very, very long time. So there is something in it. There really is something in it. I'm not jumping on the bandwagon of the science-based lifters, Dr. Mike and Jeff Nippard and all those guys. I'm still sticking with your good old basic compound movements, and I'm still using enough weights to make me feel like I've still got some testosterone in my body. But just slowing down the negative has been very effective. So those of you who are maybe feeling a little bit beaten up, you know, your body's feeling a bit tired, body's feeling a bit battered, joints are hurting, or you're just looking for a little bit of a change, maybe give it a try, You can always, you can sometimes, should I say, teach an old dog new tricks. Anyway, thank you very much as always for the lovely comments. Keep on checking out the page. Videos are going up. Views are down, as I've said before, but whatever. We're still on about 480-ish subscribers. I haven't picked up any new ones recently, but it is what it is. So I'm still going to throw out content that I enjoy, and hopefully those regular guys, hopefully you enjoy it as well. Right, I have got a client in about 5 minutes, so I'm going to go and tidy up a little bit, put all my dumbbells and things away, and I will speak to you guys soon. Do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit notifications, and all that good stuff. All right, you guys take care, and I'll speak to you soon.